Let's talk about helmets. So helmets are designed to dissipate forces. It's designed to take a focal point of impact and dissipate it so that your head gets it at a larger surface area. So if I'm not wearing a helmet and I'm, let's say, a baseball player, and I'm a batter and I'm about to hit a ball, and let's say I get a wild pitch, the pitcher throws a pitch and it comes and it hits me right in the side of the head. Well, if I get hit right in the side of the head with a baseball, that's a very, very small focal point of impact. So if that hits me in this small little spot, it'll likely fracture my skull. Now, if I'm wearing a helmet in that same area, the baseball will hit that small focal point of impact, but yet the forces will immediately dissipate. So the force that I'm actually getting to my head is going to be spread out over a larger surface area, which then prevents my skull from being fractured. So the purpose of a helmet is not to reduce brain injury or not to prevent concussion. The purpose of a helmet is to prevent skull fractures because it dissipates the force outward. The brain moves inside the skull. That's what causes a concussion. So you can wrap the head in whatever you want. That brain is still going to move inside that skull given enough force. You can get a concussion from getting hit in the body. You don't even have to be hit in the head. If you get a hit to the body and your head whips back and forth, well, the brain is still going to potentially move inside the skull, and that can cause concussion. So why does it matter what you're wearing on your head? Now, theoretically, with enough padding and with a nice soft outer shell, you might be able to dissipate that force. So think airbags, right? The reason why airbags are helpful is because when you're in an accident, rather than hitting your head off the dashboard, which is a firm surface, which is an abrupt stop, you hit your head off the dashboard. Rather than do that, the airbags will come out and they will reduce the velocity over a longer period of time, right? Acceleration is distance over time squared. So the longer you can make the time, the better or the lower your acceleration or deceleration value is going to be. So by having these airbags blow up, you're now effectively elongating the amount of time over which that deceleration happens. And that's going to reduce the forces on the brain tissue and prevent these types of catastrophic injuries. So having a hard outer shelled helmet with a little thin padding of foam is designed to prevent skull fracture. But given enough padding inside and potentially a softer shell, theoretically we could slow down or increase the amount of time in which that force is transmitted, which effectively will reduce acceleration or deceleration depending on what's happened, and potentially result in reduced concussion incidents. Now, there's a new helmet that came out. It was introduced in college football and the NFL a couple of years ago. It's called the Vices helmet, and the concept is just that, where the helmet has a softer outer shell, so the impact, when it happens, the helmet kind of folds in and dissipates the forces a little bit. But when they first kind of released these helmets, the teams that were wearing them were getting just as many concussions as the teams that weren't wearing them. So theoretically, it may make sense, but right now at this point in time, helmets have not been shown to reduce concussion risk by any amount. So when you're looking for a helmet or one versus the other, the big thing you want to look at is helmet fit. There's some evidence to suggest that a properly fitting helmet may have a reduction in concussion incidents, but again, that's like one or two studies that we need more on. But the big thing is just making sure that it properly fits and it's approved by whatever licensing and regulatory body that you utilize. So don't go out looking for a helmet to prevent concussion injuries because it doesn't exist. Anything that claims that it does is a gimmick, and in fact, a lot of sports equipment manufacturers have been sued over making claims like that, so you probably won't find many claims like that anyway.